Hey everyone, and welcome back to LAX, Los Angeles' International Airport, where we're taking a look at one of the biggest transit projects in the area, the Automated People Mover, which is going to connect the line and airport to Metro. And we're going to get started right away with this February construction update, filmed on February 9th, 2025. And we're starting atop the P1 parking garage on the 5th floor, where we can get a really good view at the Automated People Mover, or APM station. And you can see right away a difference is that they have a vehicle parked right here. And as of February 9th, I believe they were testing. Now, they weren't testing today, probably because it was Super Bowl Sunday, and they have been testing on weekdays. So hopefully we'll be able to see that in the future and future construction updates. I am happy to report, though, that the protective covering on those doors that you just saw on the left are gone, suggesting that they are in a stage closer to being opened. Now, on the other side is the Terminal 1, which serves Southwest, and it's a great way to access the West Terminal Station, which is the station that we just looked at. Now let's take a look at the map of the Automated People Mover. It has a total of 6 stations. It has the rental car facility, it has the Metro connection to the C and K lines, as well as an economy parking garage structure, and of course the 3 LAX terminal stations, named the West, Central, and East. So we are starting here at the Terminal East station, which is going to service Terminals 1, 7, and 8, through these bridges that you can see right in front of me. This bridge is going to connect the Automated People Mover station to Terminal 1. It also continues running underneath the station to also proceed to Terminal 7 and 8. And this not only provides great access to the train station, but it also allows for people to walk between Terminals 1, 7, and 8 pretty easily. And the reason why this project is being done is because of high traffic in the area as the airport continues to grow. With future terminal expansions in the future, there is going to be a need for a better way to get around than what you see right here, which is going to be the Taxi, Uber, and Lyft Center. It's incredibly busy over there with lots of traffic, and hopefully this project takes a load off of that facility. The APM is going to be a free service to everyone, so it will also help drivers who are potentially dropping off people a little further out than the central loop, and by reducing the amount of cars going through, it'll hopefully reduce traffic overall at LAX itself, making it a more pleasant travel experience. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the state of the construction here at the bridge and the elevators. These elevators are new with the project, and they're going to provide a way for people to get down to the bottom ground level, and this also serves as a way for those who are parking at lower levels to use this bridge to cross into the terminal instead of waiting to cross the street, which can take some time. Overall, the general framework for those elevators and the bridge is in a pretty good condition, and it looks like they're pretty much ready to open, besides a few messes inside the bridges and inside the fence line that you'll see in a little bit as well. So each station has a similar design, especially in the central terminal area, with a sleek modern design, and you can also see that lighting as well as emergency exit signs have been installed. So a lot of those little side projects, such as including all of the lighting as well as the signage, has been completed. And now here's a close-up look at the bridges that are going to be used to connect people to the train line. Now, in previous videos, I questioned whether these bridges were done, but I can tell you that unfortunately those bridges will not be air conditioned, and the only thing keeping you from sliding out of the bottom area is a few cables, and there is no protection at the top panel of the bridge, which leads me to wonder if people are going to try to jump off the bridge or do all sorts of things, and that might end up on the news, unfortunately. And I really wish they just would have paneled it up with windows and glass on both of the sides, up and down of the middle center section. Here you can see an intersection part of the bridge which connects the APM to the walkway to terminals 1, 7, and 8. Now, it does have a modern feel, however I feel like the lack of air conditioning and those cables does take away from the modern feel of these stations that I believe they've been going for. Now, the stations look pretty simple. There's just an escalator leading straight up to the platform, and I can't wait to give you guys some station tours of the area once it opens or once a press media event comes up. And once again, we are at the top of the P1 parking structure. We're going to head inside now, inside Terminal 2, which serves Delta alongside Terminal 3. And like the other terminals in the area, we're going to be greeted with a large white wall here, which indicates the area of the walkway that will be opened to the bridge, which will ultimately reach the Automated People Mover. And there's a bunch of elevators here that will lead you downwards, and I love how this new signage is already in place, showcasing the APM on the elevator directory. Check-in is going to be the lower level below us, so you'll be able to take an escalator or an elevator downstairs. However, if you're already checked in, The access to the security checkpoint is just to the left, which provides a really easy connection if you're checking in online with no checked luggage. And there you can see the bridge itself that'll connect to actually the central terminal station. So bear in mind that the east station you see here on this map only connects to terminals 1, 7, and 8. Terminal 2, which we're currently at, is going to connect to this central station, which is right by the control tower, as you can see. For reference, this station is going to serve terminals 2, 5, and 6. Out there on the left side now, you're able to see the previous east station that we were just taking a look at. These stations are really close to each other, and I'm grateful that they do have several stations along the line to better serve individual terminals as well as things along the way like the LAX Economy Parking Garage. And over on the right hand side, you can see the entrance to the security TSA checkpoint, which is actually combined with both terminals 2 and 3. But as I mentioned earlier, for check-in and any other arrival services, you're going to want to head down the escalators or down the elevators to go downstairs. As I said, most of the airport is going to be on the first and second floors, with the third floor being where the APM board's at. And this is nice because it does provide an elevated walkway towards the stations without needing to cross a crosswalk, like many people commonly need to do to reach the parking structures and to reach their rides home. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the central terminal station itself, and let's go ahead and take a look at the progress they've made so far on the station, and let's see if we'll see another few sets of the rail cars that they're going to be using. Let's take a look. All right, we are now looking back at where we previously were at Terminal 2. We're now on top of parking structure P2, however, it's blocked off here for construction, so we can't see too much, but we are able to see that the design is identical pretty much to the last one, with 2 exits and entrances, one on either side of the platform, instead of the 1 exit and entrance that the previous station has. You can also see that the track curves slightly around the central control tower, as well as some other things at the center of LAX, and this will be the only curve within the terminal stations. Otherwise, the line goes straight all the way to Tom Bradley, with the exception of the section leaving the airport and heading towards Metro. Now over here, you're able to see the Flyway bus down there, which is the current service between LA and the airport. It provides non-stop service, however, it will remain most likely as the C and K lines, which is going to serve the Metro station, do not connect directly to downtown. For that, you would have to take a transfer. And here's a look at the bridge we were just looking at from the inside of Terminal 2. It's the same design and it connects to both Terminal 7 as well as Terminal 6. So there is a dual purpose of this bridge and enabling you to walk between those stations instead of having to walk at grade downstairs with the card. And of course, it allows you easy access to the airport station. Now there are another set of elevators here, and I believe these are going to connect to the parking structure. So if you are looking to use the bridge as a person parking at the airport, you're able to use it as a convenient way to get between your car and the terminals itself. So there is a lot of great mobility improvements coming from this project. Now let's go ahead and take a look inside the bridge itself, where you can see there's a lot of debris, a lot of construction supplies, and even here you can see some of the roof isn't done as we look inside the bridge. So they still have some touch-ups and some things to be doing, and they do have plenty of time with an estimated opening date of January of 2026. However, this was delayed significantly from this year. It was supposed to open at the same time as the Metro lines, the C and K lines. However, it's been pushed back due to issues with the contract, and it's been costing LAX and taxpayers lots of extra money. However, I'm just looking forward to it getting done, so I'm glad to see that they're testing now and progress is being made. So now we're going inside Terminal 3, which is also served by Delta, and this connects to the central terminal station as well and has a pretty identical design to Terminal 2. It's just on the other side of the security checkpoint, which is right here. There's some nice modern art, and it looks generally clean in here, and I hope the APM stations also reflect that. There's departure boards over there, and there is some more modern art on this side as well. You're also able to head downstairs to reach the check-in facilities as well as baggage claim if necessary. On a side note, Mayor Karen Bass has also initiated some announcements here. Let's take a listen. Now, that announcement doesn't have any significance in terms of airlines or service delays or any information, but it does provide a great welcoming notice to Los Angeles, which I think is a nice touch. Let's head over to the next area where we're going to take a look at the baggage claim areas here at Terminal 3, and I'll take a look and show you the connection to the LAX Terminal West Station, which is going to be the western end of the line. So here's where it gets slightly confusing here. Terminal 2 and 3 are pretty much one large terminal, I would say. However, there are 3 bridge entrances to the terminals, 2 from the central terminal and 1 on the edge here from the western terminal station. So this is primarily what serves Terminal 3. So if you have a flight departing out of Terminal 3, I would recommend that you go to the West Station. And if you have a flight departing from Terminal 2, I'd recommend going to the Central Station, although it is not much of a walk to go between the two. Anyways, here's the entrance to Terminal 3. You can see those white walls right there. And there's a look at the station itself where it'll provide a bridge connection to. The unique thing about this terminal is it has a unique self-bag drop area here where you're able to drop your bags on your own. I personally used this on a recent trip and it's been a pretty convenient way to drop off your bags. It's also pretty convenient how it's right here on the 3rd level, so if you've already checked in but still need to drop off your baggage, you're able to do so and head through security on the same level. However, I do appreciate how there's lots of elevators on the left-hand side, as I'm sure with everyone's luggage, especially going from the arrivals level upwards, they will have a lot of use. So now we're going to be at the Terminal West Station, the last stop along the line, and as you can see, it has a very similar design here. We're atop parking structure P3, as you can see. And down the line there, you can see the LAX Central Terminal Station, and just past that is going to be the Eastern Station. So those are going to be the 3 terminal stations that the LAX People Mover is going to offer. Now this also provides a great way for people parking here at P3, a good way to enter the terminal through the bridge. I feel like it's also worth it to note that the protective coverings on the glass and doors you can see here have been lowered to just the lower half. And I haven't really mentioned this throughout the video, but I am extremely grateful that they are using automated platform doors here at this station, as well as all of them along the route, as I'm sure this will be a very safe line, and I think it's important that this is in place, especially as it's a driverless system. So if something does occur on the tracks without automated platform doors, it will be an issue because there won't be a human in order to react to the problem. Now, I haven't actually seen any people working on the station itself today, although it's probably because it's a Sunday. But another sign I'm looking at to see if they're actually working on the project is to see that bottom piece of protective covering removed as they're ready to finish construction and the dust accumulation at the platform level. Now we can see a look at the elevators that will serve the parking garage to allow people to use the APM's bridge into the terminal. Now this elevator actually still looks like it has a lot to be worked on here with the lot of the bare bones of the structures shown, especially on the right hand side with that scaffolding. So it looks like there still is some work to do on that, but they do have plenty of time. As I said, they have until January of 2026. And just in the distance, you can see the Tom Bradley International Terminal, which is going to be the mainstay of this station. This is the last terminal it serves, as it's the westernmost. And here's a look at the station from the International Terminal. This station is a little bit different because it is the westernmost on the line, and there is an entrance and exit on the west end, which will allow for easy movement between the International Terminal and the APM line. Next, we're going to head inside the terminal to take a look at what they've done inside to prepare for the extra foot traffic that this station will provide. Let's go ahead and take a look. As we enter the International Terminal, you can see outside the left side is the same area that we were just filming at. It's going to be that same western end side of the station, and we're now on the 3rd level of the terminal itself. We can get a better look at the station itself through this window, and we can see that not much is happening inside, and you can take a better look at the bridge too, where it showcases that wire and glass design. Now looking over here facing towards the terminal, you can see a statue of Tom Bradley here, which is in a great place to welcome visitors who are using the APM line. Now the reason why this terminal is dedicated to Tom Bradley is because he was the first black mayor of Los Angeles, and he was the first liberal one, setting the stage for equality and several other mayors to follow. Now if we look over here, we're able to take a look at the bustling activity that is inside the International Terminal. It's got to be the largest one with a huge indoor space right here, and looking just across you can see the security checkpoint on the 3rd level just on the other side of the check-in areas. I'm sure this station is probably going to have the most ridership as it serves terminals 3 as well as 4 and the International Terminal, which I believe will pull the most ridership. So I'm glad that APM goes all the way to the end of the center loop here at Tom Bradley. This floor and area also serves as the mobility meeting area, so if you're needing a wheelchair for a ride through the terminal, this is where you'll wait for a person to take you through. So this serves as a convenient way for those with disabilities and for those with mobility requirements to access the APM easily from this location right next to the bridge. And here's another angle of the station that you can see. And just like the other bridges, and you can see that the most of it is done on the outside, but there is still some mess on the inside, as you can see with the equipment, ladders, and other things such that are inside the bridge. Looks like they're also working at that joint or the ending of that bridge over there, as it looks like there is some open areas and paneling needed. Over in the distance, you can see Terminal 4, which we're going to be checking out next. We're now on the ground level of the Tom Bradley International Terminal here at the arrivals area, where you can see a lot of bus shuttles running, and a lot of these are going to be replaced by the APM, including the Terminal Connector, Economy Parking Shuttle, and Metro Connector, which makes me wonder what they're going to do with this area down here with the significantly reduced amount of buses. Maybe they'll open it up to private buses, but we'll see. Now we're here at the LAX Metro Transit Center, where the APM is going to connect to the Metro C and K lines, providing that access to public transit and the rest of Los Angeles. You can also see an individual construction update of this massive station in a video listed in the description down below. I've been covering the LAX Metro Center as well in the construction updates that I do monthly. In the distance now, you can also see the combined rental car facility, which is a brand new facility that has been completed already in anticipation of the APM opening, and that is going to be the final stop on the eastern end of the APM line. These stations are really close to each other, and it looks like there's going to be a drop-off facility in this area, which will serve this LAX Metro Transit Center, where you can board a train straight for the airport. You can also transfer to the C and K lines, as there's a walkway just below the platform for the APM. So overall, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'm super excited for this project. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.